First of all, one guy said, "Oh, you must be fun at parties," because I didn't like Suicide Squad. How is me not liking a movie make me not fun at parties? I didn't like Suicide Squad. Sorry, hands up. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to your favorite weekly Monday podcast hosted by some guy named Dante. My name is Dante Toro, and we are back with Talking to Myself. How are we? Happy Monday, everybody. I hope everyone's having a great start to the week so far. If you're a returning listener, thank you so much for tuning in for yet another episode, the big 1-2. Shout out to Tom Brady of Talking to Myself. If you're a first-time listener, whether you are on here on YouTube or on audio platforms, welcome. Hopefully you stick around for a while. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to Dante on Deck. Welcome to a movie review episode, I would say. So I have a few things planned out. I'm very excited. I'm ready to go. I have my Celsius here. It's raspberry peach, which is I'm very upset about because I ordered kiwi guava. I have this thing set up. Amazon lets you do these subscription things, like you order something and if you set it up like not a weekly, but like you set up a plan so they keep sending it out. You get discounts every time. I got like 20% off a 12-pack of Celsius because I have a subscription. I ordered kiwi guava and they gave me raspberry peach. Never had it before. Not that I dislike raspberries or peaches, but I've never had this one before, and I'm not usually the one to pick it out of a group of Celsius, but gave it a shot. I'm drinking it because I need energy, but not my preferred Celsius. I'm getting a new one. I got my money back and everything. We're all good, but how do you go from kiwi guava to raspberry peach? Doesn't matter. So today, we have a few things I want to talk about. I have some movie reviews I want to go over, a few questions I want to ask you guys about that as well. Some ideas, some series ideas, some video games, talk about NBA All-Star Weekend, and we have comments of the week. We're back with comments of the week, and something I thought about, and I want to put it out there. You guys want to keep putting questions in, the comments of each episode. Be glad to answer those. No problem with that. But I think I might start putting out like a Q&A question before the podcast every single week. So it gives you guys an opportunity to ask some questions. It could be about anything. It could be about wrestling, personal stuff, literally anything you want. So I think I might start doing that. I think it just makes it a little bit easier for people to ask questions, and you can tune into each episode and see if I talk about your comment, your question, whatever it may be. So something I've been thinking about. Let me know in the comments if that's, you think that's a good idea or not. I don't think it's a bad idea, but like I said, put any comments, questions below. I'm still going to answer them there. No worries. Okay, let's jump into what I am most excited to talk about. I had quite a Saturday going into Sunday. I watched 4 movies within 24 hours, but I think 22 hours is like the exact time frame here. So I planned on seeing the new Captain America Marvel movie that just came out. I usually check out every new Marvel movie that comes out. I've seen basically every single one, not all of them, but most of them. So, and obviously this new Captain America, we have a new, Captain America and everything. So I wanted to check it out. My friend Kevin, some of you guys may know him from Lumberland or just from wherever, he told me I should watch The Incredible Hulk before seeing the new Captain America, because the new Captain America has the Red Hulk, stuff going on with Harrison Ford, this and that. He already saw the new Captain America, so he was kind of giving me some advice here. So the original Incredible Hulk, not the original, but like the Incredible Hulk before the MCU series really started was Edward Norton, not Mark Ruffalo, which it was like a Mandela effect because I could have sworn that Mark Ruffalo had his own solo Hulk movie. Clearly he didn't. I was looking on like Letterboxd and Google for like 5 minutes. I couldn't find it, and I realized I just had that thought in my head for whatever reason. So I started with The Incredible Hulk. I have 4 I'm going to talk about, but give me a step-by-step, an hour by hour of what happened here. So I watched The Incredible Hulk to get ready for Captain America, and it had a 2.5-star rating on Letterboxd. If you guys don't know what Letterboxd is, it's this movie review app. You can track any movie that you watch. They have some shows on there, like some longer Marvel series on there. They have like Chernobyl, if you've seen that series. Very good. I'd recommend it to anyone. But you can track all your movies, give it ratings, reviews. You can see what other people rate it, review, follow your friends, this and that. I love it. My username is dtoro11 if you want to follow me there. If you have one or not, check it out. If you like watching movies and just tracking things in general and keeping up to date with what you've, liking to look back at things you've done and keeping up with stuff like me, I think Letterboxd would be perfect for you. But it had a 2.5 star average rating on Letterboxd. So I didn't have the highest expectations going in. Truthfully, I didn't think it was the worst thing ever. I think it could have been a lot better, but I don't think it was as bad as 2.5 star rating. That's kind of like a below average movie rating. I think what to me the biggest thing missing was, if you're into like Marvel comic book stuff, whatever, Bruce Banner, he's a scientist. It gets injected with like a serum, whatever, turns into a Hulk. Thing goes wrong, whatever. I wish they kind of gave a little bit more background information, because the movie just jumps into post, experiment going wrong. They're kind of showing you little bits and pieces, like photos and like whatever of, everything going wrong. You understand what happens. Like it's something messes up in a lab. He turns into a Hulk. He runs away. Like they explain that there, but getting a little more background information, where he came from, why he's doing this, what the whole, because there's stuff about the government and blah, blah, blah. I wish they explained it a little bit more, gave you a little bit more information. Besides that, like, there was some silliness. If you guys have seen The Other Guys, there's a scene where it's The Rock, and he jumps off of the building. They say, aim for the bushes, him and his partner. And they just jump off a building, and there's no bushes. They just land on the sidewalk. During the Hulk movie, this isn't really a spoiler, but spoiler alert, if you don't want to see what happens like towards the end of the Hulk, skip this for like 30 seconds. Giving you some time now, in case you haven't yet. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so if you have seen the movie, or if not, and you don't care about the spoilers, basically, he jumps out of a helicopter after getting the serum taken out of him, but they're like, oh, we don't know if it like actually is fully taken out of you or not, but like we think it is. A new Hulk evil abomination character comes in, he's tearing shit up. He's like, I'm the only one that can stop this, let me jump out of the helicopter, thinking that he's gonna turn into the Hulk midair. Jumps, fucking nosedives out of the helicopter, just goes right into the ground. Doesn't turn into the Hulk, and then while he's in the ground, just fist comes up, he's the Hulk. That was silly. I was laughing myself at that, because I thought that was kind of ridiculous. All I thought of was The Other Guys there. But yeah, I don't think it was terrible. It does suck that we didn't get a second one, because they kind of did some stuff at the end which made you think that, they're going to make another one. There could be something more there. Also, Edward Norton, not a bad Hulk. I think there was some like behind the scenes. He didn't get along with people, or people didn't get along with him. So that's why they recasted him with Mark Ruffalo. I don't know. But yeah, it wasn't terrible. And that led into Suicide Squad, the original one. So it was like, by the time Hulk ended, it was like 11:30. Taylor was in bed. So I'm like, I'm not tired yet. I can stay up to watch another movie. I was in the mood for another superhero-esque movie. So I put on Suicide Squad, which is a movie I have been honestly purposely avoiding since it's come out, because I was so hyped when it came out in 2016, fucking 9 years ago. But I've been skipping over it because I've just heard god awful reviews of it, and I've also heard like people really enjoy it too. But it has a 2.1 average rating on Letterboxd, 2 stars being the most it's given, followed by 3, and then not far behind with 1 star rating. I gave it a 1 star rating. It sucked. I'm sorry. Like, it's a movie that I really feel like you either love or you hate. Like, there's 48,000 people gave it a 5-star rating. 235 gave it 2 stars, and almost 100 gave it half a star. The idea is there. The idea is so there, and like the characters and like how they're all so different and unique. Like, that's interesting, but like also some of them just didn't hit. Like the fucking who was it? Not Boomerang. The guy that played, Killer Croc, I think that's who it is. The crocodile, he sucked. I hated the fucking the villain, the witch, whatever. Whenever she was talking at the end, she was doing like belly dances and stuff, and she was like dancing while fucking doing curses and stuff. I don't know what she was doing. And this might be a hot take, and I've been kind of I didn't put this in my review on Letterboxd. Again, check me out on Letterboxd. Jared Leto, I didn't like him as the Joker. I didn't like him, and I know that because I've actually heard more about him being a good Joker than a bad one. So that's why I was kind of surprised I didn't enjoy it. I haven't seen him as a Joker yet. This is my first time seeing Suicide Squad. And I heard that they cut out a bunch of his scenes and stuff, so he kind of got the shit end of the stick here. But I didn't like him. I didn't like the style of Joker. I thought it seemed like it was pretty forced. Like when he was laughing and stuff, it seemed forced. It didn't seem natural to me. It didn't seem like he was fully, I don't know. I don't think he did right by the Joker personally. Guys like Joaquin Phoenix, I think was great. Obviously, fucking why can't I think of his name? Heath Ledger is the GOAT Joker. You know what I mean? And I think maybe it's like the bar is raised so high, and like I don't know. I didn't like it. Margot Robbie, Will Smith were great. Rick Flag. I saw someone say that Edge could have been the guy that had his role, perhaps. Yeah, there was just a lot of silliness and a lot of things that didn't make sense. And for a 2016 movie, I thought it could have been cut better, like directed, filmed, CGI could have been better. There was one scene at the end, who was it? Viola Davis, Amanda, the one that like put the team together. She was like under the spell. She was like held upside down by the witch, and she was doing her thing. And by the time they did their thing to the witch, whatever, and they're about to walk away, she comes walking around the corner, not a scratch on her, like talking like nothing even happened. I'm like, this woman was just held against like her will, about to die for the last like hour, and they took so long to try to save the world. Like they were doing everything but save the world in this movie. I wish I liked it more. I've been getting a lot of shit on Twitter for it. People asking me. First of all, one guy said, "Oh, you must be fun at parties," because I didn't like Suicide Squad. How is me not liking a movie make me not fun at parties? I didn't like Suicide Squad. Sorry, hands up. I, it's a movie you either love or hate. I feel like I guess I can see why people like it. I didn't. Not for me. Not my type of movie. I need to see Suicide Squad 2. I have heard that is much better. There are people that say Suicide Squad 1 is amazing, blah, 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 but majority of people say the second one is better. Taylor hasn't seen it, so I definitely want to see it with her. John Cena's in it as Peacemaker, and once I watch Suicide Squad 2, I want to watch the Peacemaker series, because I've been wanting to watch it for a few years, haven't gotten to it yet, but I need to see Suicide Squad 2 before doing that. So if you're a Suicide Squad fan, I'm sorry. I hated the movie. I really did. I wanted to turn it off multiple times. It's 2 hours of my life that I unfortunately won't get back. I stayed up till 2 a.m. to watch this. I should have picked something else. Well, maybe I'm happy I got it out of the way. I needed to get it out of the way. And then we skip over to Sunday. So the next day, I was planning on seeing Captain America and stuff. I didn't end up seeing Captain America, spoiler alert, because other things happened, got caught up doing other things. I decided to stay home and watch other movies instead. Me and Taylor watched Jurassic Park. So we have like a wheel that we have it's like 30 movies, I think. I pick 15, she picks 15. We spin it, whatever it lands on. Most of the time, sometimes it lands on something where we're just like, we're not feeling that one. But we spin the wheel, trying to find a movie to watch, because we were feeling a snow day movie. And we land on Jurassic Park. I have never seen Jurassic Park, okay? I'll give you a few seconds to throw your rocks at me, throw your tomatoes at me, shit on me in the comments, whatever you gotta do, get it out of your system. Oh my God, Dante, have you not seen Jurassic Park? It's a classic. It's one of the best movies ever made. I hear ya. Sometimes there are some movies, whether they're classics or not, that just, they just go right by you. Me and Jurassic Park have been avoiding each other for 26 years. But on Sunday, our paths finally crossed. And you know what? I am surprised that it took me this long to see it. I thought it was like you watch it, you finish it, and it's like, that's a movie that it's like they don't make it like that anymore. It's in the 90s. It's cut differently. The CGI, like everything is so different. But that look, that feel, it's about dinosaurs and, things going wrong at Jurassic Park and, dinosaurs killing people, whatever. Maybe in 1993, I bet this was terrifying, but it didn't get that fear out of me. Thought it was very well done. The fucking kid Timmy in this movie, God bless him. I hope they flew off the island. He better have bought a scratch ticket or something, because that kid should have died. He did die, but technically he did die. But he could have died 10 different times, and the fact that he stayed alive through it all, insane. Absolutely insane. And you know what? Someone else came at me on Twitter for this, because I usually, I not screenshot. I put picture of the poster on Twitter, be like, now watching, and I put my review, my Letterboxd linked after to, get people to check it out on Letterboxd, follow me, whatever. And so follow me on Twitter, Downtown Deck, if you don't, so you can see when I'm doing that. But some guy goes, oh yeah, that makes sense. Like, you just found out about movies 2 years ago. What the fuck does that mean? I just found out about movies? Just because I haven't seen a movie that came out 5 years before I was born, sorry that I missed out on something that wasn't even fucking... I wasn't around for it. I wasn't even a thought in my parents' minds about having a kid yet. I don't even know if my parents fucking met at this point. So, yeah, fuck off. It's okay that I didn't see Jurassic Park. And again, I'm surprised it took me so long, but fuck you. Sorry. I love certain comments from people, honestly. Like at Stash Club, sometimes on Twitter and like Lumberland Days and shit like that. I love more negative comments. I think it's really funny to me. Like, I forget which movie it was, but I put out, like, for the 4 movies I watched, I did it, and I think it was for Suicide Squad, because I said, now playing, and then in parentheses, don't ask why. This is 12 o'clock at night, okay? 12 o'clock at night, people are, they could be sleeping, they could be whatever, doing whatever. The first reply, literally within the first 2 minutes, some guy just goes, no one cares. For like the commitment, to just throw that at me at 12 in the morning, you could be doing anything else, but to see my tweet and just say no one cares, kudos to you, respect. I think those comments are very funny, but we can have fun with it. But okay. Last movie though, so me and Taylor watched Jurassic Park. She's seen it before, and it's a classic to her. She's watched it a million times. So she went to go hang out with her friend. I'm left home alone. I'm gonna watch another movie because on Letterboxd, for recents, they have the 4 most recents, and I was like, you know what? Let me get 4 in 24 hours. I'm gonna screenshot it, post it, whatever. But I wanted to pick a movie that was a little different. I want this to be a wacky 24-hour period of movies. So what do I pick? I'm going through my watch list, and I pick Blockers, or some people might think it's called Cock Blockers. It's starring John Cena, Leslie Mann, Ike Barinholtz, Catherine Newton, Geraldine, you all fan, Hannibal Buress is in this. It's a comedy from 2018, and it's another movie that I was kind of been going around just because it's not on streaming. But I decided to rent it off Amazon. It was like $3, whatever. This movie was hilarious. Here's the thing. I know I'm a wrestling guy, so I might have a little bias towards wrestlers and acting or just in general. John Cena is fucking hilarious. He is so funny, just not even trying to be. I'm not saying he should strictly be a comedy actor because I think he can excel in other roles too when committed and depending on the role. But man, he is so good in comedy movies. That's his thing. He should be more so a comedy actor than anything else. He can make any mid-comedy, just an average, maybe even below average comedy movie and make it tolerable and a movie that you'd want to rewatch. Blockers was a funny movie, but he took it to another level. Him and the limo driver, he called himself Rudy, the main motherfucking man, Glover, iconic. Stars of the movie. There just certain scenes, John Cena butt chugging and stuff like that. He goes, I just chucked a 40 in my asshole. You want me to go in there? There's so many incredible one-liners. I think the one that sticks out to me the most, there's a scene where so the premise of the movie is the 3 parents their 3 daughters are going to prom and they make a sex pact. They're all going to lose their virginities, whatever. The parents find out about it and they're it's a cat and mouse chase. They're searching for them all night. And they're doing things there's probably more context. So here's my John Cena butt chug because these kids are oh, if you out chug us, we'll let you in the house, whatever. The other kid wasn't even chugging. John Cena was the only one butt chugging. It was a scene. But I think it was before this. They go to someone else's house looking for them, and they look in and see 2 people having sex. They thought it was one of their daughters. It happened to be the parents of a kid, whatever. And the couple is finishing. And the guy, John Cena's like, they're watching him. John Cena's still like watching, and he locks eyes with the guy as he like comes. And just the faces they were making at each other. And John Cena goes, I think we locked eyes when he finished. And the guy, the other actor whose name was in the movie Hunter, goes, his load is on your soul for eternity. That line was so funny to me. I recommend it. I recommend any John Cena movie, to be honest with you, because he really is hilarious. Ricky Stenicki was another one he was in with Zac Efron. And what's his name? His name is Andrew something. I have it pulled. Andrew Santino. If you don't know him by name, you'd recognize him if you saw him. But super funny movie blockers. Definitely recommend watching it. That capped off my 4 movies in 24 hours. So something I thought of after doing this, and I put it out in the community section, but I kind of want to get your guys' thoughts on it. I would be curious if you guys would be interested in like a movie review series, because I think it would be fun to maybe put out like a 5-10 minute review of like, not every movie I see, but maybe like some of the bigger ones, controversial ones, or if I have, a controversial take or opinion on a movie, whatever, I can do it. Let me know if that's something you'd be interested in. I don't think it would be as popular as like a wrestling series by any means, but it could be something different, something, people might be interested in. So let me know if you're into that. And speaking of series, another thing I put out in the YouTube community, I think I put it out earlier today, WWE 2K is coming out soon. And me and John have done the My GM series on the Stash Club channel, which is very fun, but not everyone likes it or enjoys it. Kind of like, we have the quizzes and stuff like that in the podcast. And there are people that do like the video games, but definitely not as many people. And it kind of, was hurting views on the channel. It wasn't doing well, so we decided, for the foreseeable future, we're putting it on the back burner. Maybe one day we'll bring it back, but it's a big commitment. And for, the return we were getting, like, views-wise, and, like, I don't know. It wasn't really making too much sense for us to do it. WWE 2K, I think would be a fun series to start up, like a My Career mode. Like me making a My Career guy, doing the whole story of, whatever it may be in WWE. That could be fun. It is a lot to do. It's a lot more time and commitment compared to like something like this, a lot more editing and working around things. I wouldn't mind doing it, but it is one of those things, again, where like, I don't want to do it if it's, the payoff isn't going to be there, as far as like there aren't as many people that like it. Because if it is a series that I don't get too many views on, it might not be worth my time. So just let me know if, those series interest you. I'm trying to think of new things to add to the channel, and obviously your feedback is most important to me. Your ideas are important to me as well. So let me know if that's something you'd be interested in. I think it could be fun. Could be fun. Before we get into comments of the week, I wanted to touch over the NBA All-Star Weekend and just how terrible it's become. Admittedly, I did watch some of it, but I watched enough or too much, you can say. The All-Star Weekend really has just become a joke. It's kind of like the NFL became a joke. With the Pro Bowl and everything, a lot of big names don't compete in it. If you're in the Super Bowl, you're not going to compete in it because you have it the next week. The effort isn't there. I think they do flag football now for the Pro Bowl. But the NBA, just for years, it's just been declining. The lack of effort, rules, there's nothing to like really play for. The commitment just isn't there. And the NBA hasn't done anything. Well, they've tried to do stuff to fix it and resolve it and, make it as best it can be. This year, they tried a whole different 4-team system where it's like a tournament, 2v2, 2 teams versus 2 teams, and they face off in the finals. You go to 40 points. I watched some of it, and credit to the NBA again for trying. This wasn't it. I thought the same way when they announced it. I'm like, I don't think this is going to be the fix to it, and it wasn't. You had 3 normal teams made up of NBA All-Stars, and then 8 Rising Stars players, like young players, whatever. A lot of people were upset about that. Even NBA players were upset about it. Draymond Green was bitching about how, the Rising Stars don't deserve to be there, and, there's other All-Stars that should be recognized. To that, I say, well, maybe if your generation put in more effort and actually, cared about the All-Star game and competing, the NBA wouldn't have to do that. That's the issue. And Charles Barkley said this to him later on in the night, which and it's perfect. He goes, "Your generation ruined this. The competitiveness isn't there. Like Victor Wembanyama goes into the All-Star game talking about how he wants to compete. During the game, the other team his team gave up an easy layup, and he was pissed off about it. No one else cares. Like, no one cares about the All-Star. NBA players view it as, it's their vacation, right? They have a week off or whatever it is, and they don't want to compete or risk injury or whatever. I've always said that there needs to be some sort of prize, like keep it East versus West, okay? Keep it there. And the winning team gets home court advantage in the finals. That's what I think it should be. The MLB used to do that for the World Series home field advantage. It's like the argument is like, oh, then like there are teams like let's just say the Denver Nuggets are the number one seed. I'm just throwing a team out there, and they had no All-Stars, right? That's obviously not true, but I'm just for the sake of it, they're the one seed. They don't have any All-Stars, and the West loses in the All-Star games. Now the East has the home court advantage. So the Nuggets, who are the one seed, now don't have home court advantage, but they couldn't do anything about it because they had no one in the All-Star game. I understand that, where that, the argument can come from, but like you need to do something. I'd say like maybe make a pot, like money, like award players money, but like all these guys are millionaires. Like an extra $1 million to LeBron like isn't going to do anything. It's not like the in-season tournament or a 13th man off the bench could make an extra $1 million. That's huge for him. But like the All-Stars, I don't think money is really a huge factor. The whole like playing to 40 and different teams thing, I appreciate them for trying something, but this isn't it. I don't know what they're going to have to do moving forward. I mean, also, it was a 3-hour event, and I think they said there was only 30 minutes of them actually playing. That's embarrassing. So they need to work on this. Again, I have my ideas, home court advantage and shit. I don't know. I think Damian Lillard actually suggested that as well. I don't think it's a bad idea, but you need to do something because the All-Star weekend is just shit. And shout out Mac McClung for trying to keep the All-Star or the dunk contest alive. Dude jumped over a fucking car, reverse dunk over a car, clipped his foot at the end. That could have been very bad. Hopefully this wakes up, other NBA players and being like, we need to make this fun again. Mac McClung is trying his ass off. Stephon Castle, did a great job as well, but we need big names in there. We need to make it exciting again. And it's been an issue for a few years, but another thing that the NBA has not been good at working on. Okay, let's move over to comments of the week. This podcast is actually going to be probably one of the longest podcasts that we've had in a while, which is a good thing, not a bad thing. So let's get into comments of the week. Not sponsored by Chipotle, but we're going to say they're not sponsored, or this isn't sponsored by Chipotle until we are sponsored by Chipotle. I know you're watching. Okay. First comment we have from Awesome Viper. Hey Dante, I've been a huge fan of yours for a while. Ever since I watched Sash Club Wrestling, I always play along with your quizzes on that channel. My question is, what did you think of Ricky Starks joining WWE, and what's his future in the company in your opinion? First of all, thank you for being a huge fan. Playing along with the quizzes on Sash Club means a lot. What do I think of Ricky Starks joining WWE or NXT? Very shocking moment, when we found out or heard that his contract or he got let go from AEW. I think it was a pretty, I think a lot of people agreed that he was going to show up in WWE, but he did show up a lot sooner than people may have imagined, including myself. A shocking debut in NXT. No one has said his name yet, so they're definitely waiting. They have a contract signing tomorrow. I'm sure they'll do a big reveal there, and there'll be a huge pop. But I think he has a very bright future. I think he has untapped potential that wasn't being used in AEW. I think he is going to be great in NXT. I think he's exactly what the men's roster needs in NXT right now. I expect a big future from him. I don't think he'll be dethroning Obafemi anytime soon, but I can see him going after like the North American Championship, working his way up to the NXT title and having a good run there. I think he'd be great on the main roster, don't get me wrong, but I think getting him started in NXT, getting him to, learn the ropes of the WWE system and all that stuff. I think he'll be a natural and he'll be around for a long time. The future is very bright for him, but I'm excited for him to get started in NXT. That'll be perfect for him. Next question we have, are you a Marvel fan? If so, what new Marvel movie are you most excited to see this year? I am a Marvel fan. I wouldn't say I'm like a comic book. Like, I don't read the comic books or like follow along with the comic books, or really, I might not be too like in it or like know everything, all the Easter eggs like some other people might know. But I do like Marvel movies. I do enjoy them. Like I said earlier, I've seen most of them. I think there are a few I haven't seen that I do. I'm kind of in that superhero like feel phase right now. I'm seeing the Hulk and Suicide Squad, and also, the new Captain America movie coming out. Wanted to see that. I know I'm hoping I can check off those movies that I haven't seen yet. But what new Marvel movie am I most excited to see? I'd probably say Thunderbolts, just because it's a new, group of, heroes, I guess you want to say. And, just kind of see that direction where they go. Because Marvel is in a very interesting period right now where post Endgame, I think they're still, struggling to, find that spark again that they had. And I don't know if these upcoming movies will do that. I've heard mixed things about the new Captain America movie, but it's the first one with a new Captain America. So you got to give that some time to breathe. But I am curious because I think Thunderbolts is great. That's something they can work with. Truthfully, I'm excited for the new Fantastic Four movie coming out this year. I'm very excited for that. I loved Fantastic Four when I was a kid, the one with like Jessica Alba and Chris Evans. Really like that one. But yeah, excited to see Thunderbolts. I'm optimistic about it, but I'm also very like, my expectations aren't sky high for any Marvel movies moving forward in the next few years. They need to prove to themselves that they can, make, solid movie stories again, because it is in a weird period right now. Last question we have, or last comment we have you ever thought about getting into soccer/football? I'm a huge football fan. Plus, I don't know if this is possible, but it would be awesome to see a player wrestler career mode series, especially for the new 2K 2025. Okay, so I actually didn't, I kind of breezed through this comment when I was looking through them and kind of missed the 2K part. But have you ever thought about getting into soccer? Yes, it's just there's so much, and there's already so many sports to follow that I'm into, and I feel like I'm so out of it in soccer, and like I don't understand how like transfers work, how certain teams work, like I don't get that stuff. I used to play FIFA. I shouldn't say I used to play. I kind of dabbled in FIFA when I was in like high school and stuff. Wasn't really my thing. I wasn't good at it. Didn't really soccer, like I will say during the pandemic, I used to bet on it a lot when I didn't have a job and everything. I would get up at like 6, 7 a.m. and watch soccer and bet on it. But it's something I've thought about getting into. I just think I'm so out of the loop, and it would be so hard for me to do. I'm interested in it, and I'd never say never, but it would take a lot for me to kind of, not want to get into it, but it's a lot. It's just a lot. Maybe one day. Maybe send me some stuff. I don't know. Maybe there's things I need to be knowing about, or like you can start me somewhere, I guess. I don't know. It's interesting. I definitely think it's cool, and I think like the World Cup is awesome, and it's a must-see event, and it seems like it's electric, but just not something I've ever really been into too much. And yeah, going back to 2K25, yeah, I think it's very possible. I think it would be cool doing my career mode there, and I'm going to leave that up to you guys. You guys, again, let me know if that's something you'd want to see. I think it could be fun, but it does take a lot of time. So if it's, something people don't want, I won't do it. But if people want it, I'd be happy to do it. Okay, that's it for this week. Let me make sure that this is episode 12. I said episode 12 at the beginning, but I didn't double check that. I want to be sure, and I should know that before I even publish that. We have Kendrick Lamar's last week, episode 11. So yes, this is episode 12. Thank you guys for coming back for more, I guess, and joining me. I meant to say coming and joining at the same time. Thank you for joining me for another episode. I appreciate you guys so much for taking time out of your day and listening to me, whether you're on audio-only platforms or here on YouTube. If you are on YouTube, make sure to like this video, subscribe for more content, whether it's more weekly Talk to Myself content, wrestling content, other stuff I post on here. And if you're an audio-only listener, please make sure to give me a 5-star rating, review, all that good stuff. That helps out a ton. I hope you guys have a great rest of the day. I hope you have a great rest of the week. I'll be here posting content, wrestling, this, that, whatever. Keep your eye out for that. Put the notification bell so you don't miss it at all. All right. Have a great day, everyone. I'll see you all week. Peace.